9-2 record, 5-2 in dual meets for the Scarlet Knights. Rec Hall sold out, one of the best environments in all of college wrestling.
It really is. You know, the dark lights on the crowd here and the focus on the mats. And, you know, this is probably one of the warmest places to wrestle in the country here, maybe short of maybe Tempe, Arizona. But it's got everything you need for a home field advantage here, a home court advantage, home mat advantage. And this fan base really gets behind their guys.
Only loss for Lilledahl this season was to his teammate Nathan Desmond. That was in the finals of the Black Knight Invite. 5-3 does not count on his official record. The first male to win a U17, U20, and U23 world title. Recently won his U23 world championship.
Keep that legal. Keep that legal.
What a career it's been. He's out of St. Charles, Missouri.
On the line.
Wrestled at Christian Brothers College High School as a freshman. Then he went to Wyoming Seminary, captured a pair of prep national championships. Junior Hodge Trophy winner in 2024. This guy has it all, Jim, and don't blink. It's Lightning Luke.
Yeah, he just drops low there. David will go ahead and pick up a single leg. And what he does as good a job as anybody in the country. We're probably going to see this here from Gowans as well, that they just really go after that low shot and that far ankle finish. They just run to it.
Last season, Lilledahl actually lost in this dual meet to Dean Peterson 4-1. Here's another look.
Yeah, see, he shot for the far ankle. You see that? Before went the near single leg right there, whipped the far ankle. Just great anticipation.
Lilledahl leading at 3-0. Aiden Smith, a two-time Pennsylvania State champion, four-time placer at Notre Dame Green Pond. Beast of the East champion. Wrestled for Team Pennsylvania in the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. That is a phenomenal, phenomenal event, as Lilledahl with riding time over 20 seconds. And remember last year, Jim, as I mentioned, Lilledahl came back and took third. What Penn State did on the backside of the national tournament last March in Philly was nothing short of spectacular. Go out and get the next best thing. That's what they did.
Yeah, it showed a lot of character from all those guys that came back like that. You know, you lose tough matches, and you come here to Penn State, you're expected to, try to compete for a national championship. If that's taken away early in the tournament, sometimes, lesser guys will go, fold up their tent and, maybe pout. And these guys came all the way back and got third and showed a lot of character.
2 years ago, we saw Braden Davis. We'll see him at 141 win the Big Ten title at 125. Lilledahl, the Big Ten champion last March at Northwestern, beat Nebraska's Caleb Smith to stand atop the podium as a Big Ten champ. He's up 3-1 and taking territory. Good pressure forward, draws a stall call on Aiden Smith.
Yeah, what separates Lilledahl quite a bit, you see how his forward pressure, but he also has a lot of shot fakes in there. He gets the man moving, a lot of, inside collar action. Watch him work off of this action right here. Anticipates the guy's shot. When you put a lot of forward pressure on the guy, you can feel when he's coming, right? You got the stall warning on him. If you're any kind of competitor, which Smith is, he's going to try to go ahead and move back in, but you can kind of force guys into shots that are ill-advised and, counter shot yourself and run to a leg, which he's so effective doing.
Short time in this first period. Hard collar tie there from Lilledahl. Another late shot by the Nittany Lion. Able to snag an ankle, but time is running out. And Smith able to square up and keep it a 3-1 score to the second period. Cale Sanderson in his 17th season as head coach at Penn State. 12-time national champions. He's led the Nittany Lions to 9 Big Ten titles at the tournaments.
Listening to his older brother about beard growth here.
Looking good.
Yeah, both of them
looking good, I would say so. It's amazing what he has done. 101 All-American honors for the Nittany Lions with him as head coach. 40 individual national titles. Of course, they won 5 in 2017 and 2022. And last season, Jim, only the second Division I team to get 10 All-Americans as they join the Gophers. 10 All-Americans last March in Philadelphia.
I like this technique here that Lilledahl, you just reach back and try to grab a whizzer off the bottom position right there. That's a pretty good way to get a good quick escape. When you feel a guy that's, coming down for that, try to grab the wrist on the near side here. You can go ahead and clear your wrist, come back and get a whizzer. That's a bringing back an old school move. Nice head snap right there. Again, the constant forward pressure. Smith's got to go ahead and present himself a little bit better in this match, or else he's going to go get another stall warning.
Smith, Keystone Classic champion this year. He's 5-2 in duels for Rutgers.
Nice job of circling back in there by Smith. And, you know, you're at this stage of the match, only down 4-1. You say, hey, let's go ahead and see what your best shot is, what your go-to shot is, and make this match a little bit more of a challenge.
If you were Aiden Smith, do you see any openings?
I don't. And that's the difficult thing, and that's why this young man's won so many titles. You know, controlling the tie, he's inside on the collar tie. He knows how to put pressure on, and from these positions, and he probably won't shoot it because Smith has got his rear end to the edge. Collected that other stall warning again.
Makes it 5-1. What is something about Lilledahl, Jim, that's not so obvious that you're able to notice?
It's just, you know, I think, you know, the shot fakes, the combination of shot fake, control tie, you see that inside collar tie. He likes to live off of that, but he ends up getting, when he gets to a leg, he just does a great job of running to the angle there. I mean, just, you know, once it's not just getting to a leg and stopping. He has a lot of motion once he gets to that leg to get to the far leg, so great finishes. But it's mainly off of keeping his lower body churning and moving.
Lilledahl with an escape in the second period. Gets another stall call on Smith. He is up 5-1, and Smith will go on bottom.
And of all, you know, you just sense by, you know, watching his interviews that he does. I mean, really take the look at the face. He's breathing hard, which you like to see that in your guys. But you guys, you know, you look at the facial expressions. He's got a smile on his face. He's alert to what the referee's telling him to do. It's just all the, you know, the nonverbal cues are right there.
He told me at the Big Ten Championships last year that he spent his whole life watching Big Ten wrestling on the Big Ten Network, and great to call his matches. 125 pounds, a crazy weight class as Lilledahl has that claw ride in. Vincent Robinson, the reigning national champion, atop the rankings. Lilledahl is second. Nick Bouzakis of Ohio State has been phenomenal since making that drop to 125. Eddie Van Treska in Virginia Tech. Sheldon Seymour of Lehigh round at the top 5 as Aiden Smith skips away. And Jim, it's a one takedown match.
It is, but you know, it's as far as the action goes, I mean, I think it's been all Lilledahl here. As far as his forward pressure goes, really Smith hasn't got to a shot. You know, but you know, maybe he'll open up here and try to battle and find something. There's a little shuck by, get a little bit better position here, center of the mat.
Midway through this third period. There's a straight-on shot from Smith. Counter-attack.
Yeah, look at the left collar, right collar, left collar, right collar here. Really harasses him.
Nittany Lions have won 71 straight home duels. Last loss at home was February 2015, an 18-12 defeat to the Hawkeyes. Iowa and Penn State next Friday, of course, inside Carver. Hawkeye and Lilledahl drives right through for a second takedown. He extends the lead up 8-2.
Yeah, that was a power shot right there, but look where he placed his hands. He had a great pick right there and switched it off to a double. Oh, look at this, shooting from distance right now. Counter shot, boom, right through, and keeping his lower body moving that time all the way through his opponent. And Smith wasn't able to handle that pressure.
You see the three-point signs in the background. So Lilledahl now, Jim, looking for that bonus point victory. He has 2 major decisions on the season. He's got 15 seconds. He picks up his intensity. Smith on a single leg. Smith's got Lilledahl on his hips. Luke with a chest lock. And this one is a final at 125 pounds. 8-3 for the true sophomore, Luke Lilledahl. Third at the Olympic trials as a high school junior. It's incredible, Jim, the success these guys are having at such young ages.
Yeah, I mean, the Penn State coaching staff would be the first to tell you that they're you know, they're dealing with uber talented individuals that are coming up in this era of wrestling. It's amazing how, you know, much these guys have gotten to this level so quickly. You know, the senior level from being a junior in high school, I mean, that's just pretty much unheard of here throughout the ages. But you know, these guys are ready and they've got bright futures ahead of them. You know, wish the best of health so they can go ahead and complete what they're at, but they also become targets as well. I mean, there's a lot of transitions that happen in college, and you got to make all of them depending on, if you're one of these talented guys, you come in with almost a target on your back even before you even accomplished anything at this level of wrestling. So
Dylan Shawver from Lorain, Ohio, Elyria. 3-time placer. He's been really good at Rutgers. 3-time national qualifier, over 20 wins, 3 seasons. Talked about that Big Ten title in 2024. Beat Dylan Ragusin of Michigan. Then went to Kansas City and finished 7th to become an All-American.
And Shawver's the type of guy that can, he can slow a match down. He's got some good shots of his own. And that's what you have to deal with here when you maybe come up here as a youngster. Maybe some of those opportunities that you got at the lower levels, you went out there and closed, quickly. You just can't be frustrated because the guy that you're wrestling is pretty skilled at being able to control ties and slow you down.
Shawver last season, 22-11. He was 6th at the Big Tens. Went to Philly, national tournament as a 10 seed. Lost in his opening round match, and then he won 3 straight overtime matches before ultimately falling in the blood round to Connor McGonigal of Virginia Tech. No score here, 50 seconds remaining in the first. What have you seen?
Yeah, a nice job by Blaze getting to a shot. He came to the bear hug there, but he wasn't able to pop his hips in, and Shawver did a nice job with the double overs there, basically slamming his foot down and getting back to the neutral position. No points in this first period would be a win for Shawver.
Shot there from the young Nittany Lion. Half a minute remaining in this first period. Hand fight continues, center the Resolite.
Right now you sense that Shawver's getting a little bit high in his stance. And even though I think Blaze is the taller athlete, he's doing a nice job of controlling the height of his position. See how he's measured himself a few inches shorter than Shawver when it comes to his stance. Now snap down at the edge of the mat.
Really busy with his hands.
Yeah.
And there is a stall call on Shawver.
Yeah, that's just giving up a little bit too much in territory there.
Let's get to...
And I think that if you, being a brother, having brothers that were in the sport with me, I think he would tell you this, that watching his brother in the NCAA finals was an important thing for him as well. I mean, that you saw the pictures of his successes and all that stuff, but watching his brother get an opportunity to make the NCAA finals is probably just as important in his development.
Talking about his brother Joey Blaze, who wrestles at Purdue, made that final last year at 157, fell to Antrell Taylor. He beat LJ Adaucho of Nebraska 8-2 last night. That was the Boilermakers' lone victory in that dual meet. Joey Blaze already this season won the Cliff Keenan Vegas, but you're right. Great wrestling family, a lot of success with Joey and now Marcus Blaze. And both those guys, Jim, be starting as true freshmen as well.
Still green, one right, neutral.
And there's an escape by Shawver.
Nice job with the elevator right there. He caught Blaze basically looking with his head on one side of the body. Hit that little elevator technique.
Joey Blaze, or Marcus Blaze rather, in 2024 made Final X. Fell to Vito Aruja in that best of 3. 45 seconds to go in this second period. Front headlock here for Blaze. Hard snap down, looking to hustle around and beat that shoulder. Oh, nice job there by Shawver, but Blaze, Jim, ultimately corrals and scores.
Yeah, it looked like Shawver was going to basically circle back out of that, going the opposite direction, but he picked the ankle right away and drove him over with that double leg.
As you would say, Jim, that was some good action.
It was. Yeah, what was Blaze doing? Trying to get to a corner, snap him down, get to a corner here. And basically Shawver tried to go the other direction, get out of it here, and walked right into an ankle pick.
And with that takedown, Blaze takes riding time over a minute. He is going to finish this period on top. Good period for Marcus Blaze. This was really good action here as he's able to score the 3.
Yeah, quickness is anticipation here. Here, underhook, snap him down, go one direction, anticipates the peek out right there. Peeks out right there, but leaves his ankles behind and gets him picked.
Highlight takedown there for Marcus Blaze. He'll go on bottom. Shawver showing optional start. There in the background, you see Cale Sanderson national champion, two-time national champion Nick Lee. Cody Sanderson as well in the corner for Marcus Blaze.
And here's the discipline that you get from Blaze as well. Look how low he is in his stance. You know, chest over his knees, keeping his balance right there. You know, now right back to a single or ankle pick right there. Collar tied back to an ankle pick.
And I think he got another stall call there as well on that shot.
Yeah.
So that was a 4-point sequence there for Marcus Blaze.
And, you know, what did he do? He got in a lower stance and put some forward pressure on him, came to the collar here, and then started attacking the, you know, below the knee.
Looking for his 11th bonus point victory. Gives the escape.
And this is what's going to make him so tough at this level here. Look at the down blocking. Look how low he is.
How about this weight class, Jim, in the Big Ten? You have Lucas Byrd, the reigning national champion. Ben Davino of Ohio State has been phenomenal. Drake Ayel, of course, great accolades. Zan Fugit of Wisconsin, an All-American. And who knows, outside the Big Ten on the national side, Jax Forrest at Oklahoma State. How will that play out? 133 is going to be something in Cleveland.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's just, you know, just in the Big Ten dual meet season here that we have here coming up. Now you've got a shin whizzer applied there, putting a lot of pressure on Shawver is trying to finish. And notice he's not trying to do too much with that shin whizzer. Just has it there, going to react to any type of finishing move that Shawver gives as they limps out. Kept his balance and then squared up with that limp arm. You could feel that coming.
One thing that bleeds through the screen, Jim, is his poise.
Yes, no question about it. But it all starts with where he's positioning himself. Just a
great level change.
Left-handed shot right there. Scoops the leg up, roll back through. Wasn't able to switch to a double, but you know, go ahead and try to shelf it right now on that right thigh. Try to slip that left arm across.
A takedown will give him the major decision. He gets it inside of 15 seconds. The riding time is locked up.
Special.
Marcus Blaze, the true freshman, improves to 11-0. All bonus point victories. His third major decision of the season. Bulk and sudden victory. And then last season, fourth at the Big Tens, the 8th seed, and an All-American with a 5th place finish.
Well, this would be an interesting, you know, situation for Davis. You know, you weren't expected to be there. Jumps right into a takedown there. Nice job of getting to a corner there and diving into a shot.
15 seconds in, Davis already up 3-0 on Tyre Parkkins, a true freshman from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. 3-time placer for the Blue Eagles, 2-time state champ. Did a lot of winning, over 150 wins. He's 5-6 this season.
You know, the reason why I say that is that, you know, he's been in a wrestling room, you know, just going out there and wrestling free and easy, you know, understanding what he probably needs to do to get better at this level because he's had a couple years of competition. And, you know, we've seen a lot of his matches where there hasn't been a lot of scoring in the first period, so he jumps right out there and gets a lead. And maybe he's, you know, he's always had some exciting matches. But when he was young, he was... Oh, look at those scramble situation again. But he's really looking for his offense. And, you know, if you have half a year where you're not even thinking about, you know, your practices aren't consumed with, you know, making weight and being on a team and the competition that it takes to be able to be that. You know, now you're out there wrestling, you know, free and easy because you got a spot that may have opened up here for a while. You may be in the lineup for quite a bit. And so taking advantage of this opportunity.
2 takedowns, riding time over a minute, has the wrist. Braden Davis, 4-0, won the Bobby Kaufman Open. My favorite move right there, Jim.
Yeah, it is.
Digging that head right there in the armpit. Wrestling experts refer to that as a coffee grinder.
Yeah, they sure do. Yeah.
Now he goes hammerlock, brings that wrist to the back. 1:10 remaining first period. Braden Davis from Belleville, Michigan, Dundee High School, 4-time individual state champ, and was also part of 4 team championships as Parkkins works to his feet. And Davis going to get back to work from the neutral position.
Yeah, really kind of an uncontested escape there that Davis worked onto that 2-on-1. And
Parkkins this season was 6th at the Keystone Classic, going 4-2. He was 1-2 at the Journeyman Classic.
What do we got to do? Add 9 seconds.
Just over 30 seconds. Another shot there. Single leg here for the Nittany Lion. And Braden Davis scores his 3rd takedown in this opening frame.
Yeah. Good job there running the pipe. You know, talk about that technique. That's been around for a long, long time here. Call it run the pipe. You know, the guys in the oil fields down in Oklahoma, you know, they would take the pipe and run it through their legs and all that stuff, you know, to try to not, you know, drop the pipe on their legs and all that stuff. That's what the technique is. So you get in there, you make the step, and you run the pipe.
Braden Davis looking for a roll-through tilt late in this first period. He's got a 7-point lead in over 2 minutes of riding time with a second.
Take a look at this takedown right here. Steps up with the inside leg, not too big of a step right there, to run the pipe.
I love the wrestling terminology. Run the pipe. I know you love coffee grinder. I like cement mixer. That's cement mixer, cement job.
Yeah, I think
cow catcher.
Cow catcher is pretty good. Gazzoni.
Gator bacon.
Yeah.
High flyer.
Yeah. Anything where you're putting a guy on his head, that's usually something that gets it at feet to back. That's where you know, the Metzger, you know, that's named after
the dresser dump.
Yep. Taking a guy from their feet to the back. Get some names going there.
Davis gives the escape. 9-3 match. Penn State leading it 7-0. Luke Lilledahl with a decision, and a major decision from Marcus Blaze. He's now 11-0, all bonus point victories for the true freshman at 133. Right back in with an attack is Braden Davis. Braden Davis, Jim, 125, 133, now 141. Your thoughts on that, and what challenges will he face moving up weights?
Well, you know, you're going to find some guys that are much more powerful, and then when you have to ride a guy, you're riding a guy that's a little bit bigger. You know, at 125, he had good range and length against a lot of those guys. Won some matches, some big matches, and with you know, reversals and ride outs and that type of thing when the scoring on offense wasn't there. But now he may be the quicker guy. You know, he was wrestling guys that are quicker, and you have to, you know, maybe be a little bit more defensive, get a takedown late. But right now, things open up for you when you're wrestling bigger guys. The problem is can you control them once you get them down?
Penn State has won 77 straight dual meets, tied with St. Cloud State for the NCAA record. Last loss almost 6 years ago, January 31st, 2020, 1917, inside Carver Hawkeye Arena against the Hawkeyes.
You know, making the transition up to this 141-pound weight class. It's not like he can't, you know, he doesn't have the frame or anything like that. But the advantage he has, he's been going with guys like last year, probably going with Bo Bartlett quite a bit. He's got, you know, he's got Dan Ness, who is an excellent wrestler to get into your kitchen and all that stuff. I mean, I talk about that quite a bit, how close he's able to go ahead and get into you and control ties. So he's experienced some of the best guys that you could ever experience, you know, moving up a weight.
Three of my favorite words ever. Friday Night Wrestling, top 10 doubleheader with Iowa and Penn State, Nebraska, and the Gophers. Of course, we have our wrestling pregame, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific.
Beat team 27-9 over Illinois today.
Good win for the Gophers. Davis, good sit, quick escape. He adds to his lead. Another bonus point situation here for the Nittany Lions at 141. Davis riding time over 2 minutes. Outside shot there from Parkkins.
Davis focusing on the hips there, get the weight on the hands.
Fourth takedown for Braden Davis.
And I think not enough people maybe consider what their offensive opportunities are when you get stopped on a shot like that or you get snapped down. And if you get a guy that's casually trying to go over the top of you and try to get to a corner and all that stuff, you can go ahead and attack those hips, and that's exactly what he was able to do. He caught Parkkins kind of bending over at the waist, and it made a lot of room for him to get in there and attack the hips directly.
Just over a minute remaining here in the third. Davis has riding time locked up as he continues to ride the Scarlet Knight on the edge now inside of a minute. You talked about it before, Jim, with some of the different guys in the room, the different looks, all that talent. There was an article done on Cale Sanderson by Men's Health. They called me up for a quote, and I said, in that room, you don't have to go but a step or two to find somebody to basically beat you up. I mean, so many hammers in that room.
Yeah, it's really, to be honest with you, if you're a lightweight in that room, you can go all the way up, climb all the way up the ladder but you've got, postgraduate guys to work out with and everything, so it's, you can't help but get better. And I think the promise that Coach Sanderson makes to these guys, we're going to make you better. They don't promise anything. They see that nice job by Parkkins showing some athletic ability on the twist around right there. Takes away the major at this point. We'll see if he can stay in the top position.
Appreciate the hustle. Continue to compete.
Yes.
Braden Davis gets the escape. And Davis with a double leg and a lickety-split finish. And Braden Davis, in his first dual meet of the season, appears to be the guy at 141 with the riding time 18.7. More bonus points for the Nittany Lions. Davis now 5-0 on the season. 3 pins, 4 techs, and a major. Won the Black Knight Invite Champion. 6-0 in duels, coming off a nice win over Stanford's Aiden Valencia 10-4.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys just fascinating for me to watch. Is that I love watching how close he gets to his opponents. I mean, he rarely has to drop down to a knee. It's how close he gets. He just gets right into a guy's grill, his kitchen, he's in his rice bowl. He just right inside there, and it's just like these shots that he's just basically dropping his hands and collecting the leg. That's always what's been impressed me about him, and it's not just being his stature. It's about his technique and the way he constantly marches in, and he likes to put that that top of his head into somebody's sternum right there, and he gets him moving back. Right, you see an element of that right there. Hits a little drag. Let's see how he never goes down to his knees. Right on cue. Love it. Love it.
Shane Van Ness, a takedown 60 seconds into the first period. He was third at the Big Ten's last March at Northwestern. You like this takedown?
Oh, I do. Just nice little angle there, right? Little turn, gets the drag, doesn't have to stay with it right there, picks the leg, and knows how to finish at the edge. What just makes that so easy is that, you look at his feet, look what he's doing to his man's upper body. And what separates a lot of these Nittany Lion wrestlers over the years has been their, you say, go watch a match in the middleweights and you see 2 guys standing around for a while. That doesn't happen in this with the people that come out there in the blue and
nice
white singlet. Yeah, really nice switch. Now watch as he comes up, all right? He's got to move up. He comes right into a reversal of his own. So when you move up, here the official going still red, but it's going to reverse him right back. But a lot of times guys will panic out in that situation. Take a look at the reversal here. Magro, nice little switch. I like that action right there. Notice how he didn't stay up in the crotch with that hand. He went right down lower to the leg and was able to go ahead and finish below the knees. You can make adjustments on your switch. You don't have to stay up there reaching high up in the leg. You can basically come lower and actually slide your body down out, create a little bit more hip separation. It's easier for you to make that turn.
Van Ness, that beard is mid-season form as well. Looking good.
Yes, it is.
I like the beards.
Yeah, I do
if
too.
I could grow one, Jim, I would, but I can't do it. Wish I could.
You're fine.
One of the big disappointments in my life up to this point.
Well, I don't know how to take that. I think it's,
green cover.
you got a lot of other things
in my
going for
next
you,
life,
Shane.
maybe.
Yeah.
Devin Magro from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, wrestled at Bishop McCourt. Won a state title. He's down by 2 with 1:10 remaining here in the first period. Now he's in some trouble.
Yeah, but he turned that leg, and see it brought the knee over the head with that. Now he comes into that half Nelson. Love that finish.
Shane Van Ness looking for his 4th fall of the season. Magro able to fight off his back. It's going to be 4 near fall awarded to the Nittany Lion. That makes it 11-3. Van Ness, the 3rd seed at the national tournaments last March. He lost to Ridge Love at 14-8 in the semis. Then he pinned Ethan Stiles of Oregon State, now at Ohio State. And then a 15-4 major over the Buckeyes at Dylan D'Amelio. 2-time All-American.
That was really well done. I've been thinking quite a bit about, what do you do when a guy goes ahead and puts an overtie on that to stop you from finishing your takedown? And that was perfect execution right there. I've talked about maybe doing a half Nelson in that position, but, you know, he dropped the knee over the head, so effectively had the same pressure as a half. That's worth rewinding right there. Every coach in the country, look at that finish.
Let's take another look as Van Ness takes a 12-3 lead to the third.
See the over tie that Magro has right here? And it ends up being in this. See that over tie right there? The elbow's up high. I like a half Nelson in there, but watch what he does. He puts the knee up over the top after he breaks him down to his hip and then starts walking it around.
Stays real patient right there.
Yeah, really well done, right? You know, 'cause way too many guys get caught in that position. They can't finish their takedown. Ends up being a stalemate. But you got a high elbow there. You can half it, or you can go ahead and do what Van Ness did. Knock him down to his hip, all right, and then bring the knee over the top.
Good job here early in this third period of riding by Magro, working up.
Nice job.
Staying on the hips.
Yeah, looks like a strength of his.
Magro was 7th at the Keystone Classic, 3-1 at the Journeyman Classic. Having a solid start to his career as a true freshman in that Scarlet Knight singlet. And he's been able to ride Van Ness for the first 45 seconds here in this third period. Van Ness ranked #1 ahead of Jackson Joy and Caleb Larkin. In the Big Ten, Ethan Stiles, as I mentioned before, now for the Buckeyes, he's ranked 4th. Boyd Biskins of NC State is ranked 5th. Biskins beat Magro earlier this season, 16-4.
Let's watch the adjustment that Van Ness makes after being ridden here for most of this period so far.
Caution on red. Hey, got to have your head in the center. You're way too high. Right here. Set.
Caution on Magro.
Set. Red cover. Set.
Yeah, right there, comes inside. When your head's down, you're going to see that guy look to hip into him a little bit.
Van Ness pops to his feet. Good mat return there from Magro.
Kind of did a reverse inside. He's on the backside there, but he inside tripped the leg and dropped down to a double.
You're getting beat 12-3, really getting controlled, but this is really impressive work here from Magro on top.
Inside trip and follows it up. Gets his. He didn't really pick it there. He kind of used his lat and back of his tricep there to control the leg and drove him forward.
He's a true freshman, wrestling the #1 ranked guy in the country at this weight class. Good scramble here with 30 seconds left. It is won by Van Ness.
Magro's got to be careful right there. He's giving up the bottom leg Turk. Right there, that bottom leg is going to get elevated right there. And he comes back into an assassin.
An assassin, Van Ness, looking for a fall. He's got him tight. Magro continues to fight. And this is cinched up for Van Ness. Inside of 10 seconds. And he gets the slap of the Resolite. Then in October, U23 World Bronze.
Yeah, this is mind-blowing to me, the power that this young man has. Likes to work off that left-handed underhook.
No, we're out. No change. No change.
A three-point takedown right there after it, and just his feel that he has off that left-handed underhook. What he's able to do, he's got some variety with it here, but really fun to watch. Really kind of operates in vectors. Once he gets the tie he wants, he just lunges into it and gets his opponents really off balance. And you know, a young guy coming in with this much power is, I guess it's not uncommon in a blue and white singlet, but I tell you what, he's something special.
In August, he won the U20 world title. Mentioned wrestling in the senior worlds. To get there, he had to beat Yanni Diakomahalis, the 4-time national champ. Yanni teched him in the first match. Duke came back and won matches 2 and 3 to cement his spot on that senior world team. Just incredible how young these guys are and the accolades. I mean, these are great accolades, Jim, on the freestyle side after you've been out of college for 6 to 8 years.
Exactly. You know, just phenomenal. And you know, they come into matches like this where, you know, it's your first time maybe in front of the Big Ten audience, so to speak, but you're as calm as a cucumber because you've wrestled in the best environments around the world here. There's another example of getting that left arm around the waist or left-handed underhook. He drives it as well, I mean, as anybody in the world.
One red, neutral.
Easton Doster from New Haven, Indiana, a state champion at New Haven High School. He was 4-0 at the Journeyman Classic as P.J. Duke continues to pour it on with his third takedown 90 seconds into this first period.
Yeah, just really similar again. He's got when he gets that underhook, he's just dynamite. He can drop down to the ankle. He can drive across with it.
Set.
He can drop
Optional.
it into the waist right
Set.
there and work a
Green
seatbelt
cover.
position. So
Set. One red, neutral.
Gives the escape, he'll get back to work. Duke 9-0, 5-0 in duels. He won the Black Knight invite. 5 falls and a major decision. True freshman working a 2-on-1, gets to a single leg. Front trip, rolled there by Doster. Duke anticipates and scores 3 on the edge.
yeah, you mentioned it right there. The anticipation here, sprawling when you have that, when you feel a guy, he's got the leg like that, he starts going into that, anytime he brings his head down like that, tries to hump and roll through here, you should be sprawling. That's exactly what Duke did and collected the points.
We'll have a new number 1 at
Optional.
157.
Set. Green cover.
As last night, Caleb Larkin
One red, neutral.
knocked off top-ranked Ty Waters. Caleb Larkin coming up from 149. New number 1, maybe Brandon Cannon of Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't know how Caleb Larkin was basically making that weight. He's a tall drink of water, and he's going to be hard for everybody in that weight class with his range.
Throw by takedown from Duke.
Yeah, it looked like he's almost going to take him to his back. Doster fortunate to get out of that one.
Still green, still green. Nope, we're out. No change.
Duke controlling this match on his feet. 5 takedowns for P.J. Duke.
Set.
Some AC/DC
Free
playing
cover.
here inside Rec Hall. Some back and black. We'll be hearing that next Friday night. I can promise you that inside Carver Hawkeye again. Penn State and Iowa. A couple weeks earlier than normal this season. As Duke with a breakdown. Goes hard crossface. It's always one of the best nights of the year. Penn State and Iowa, just the fan bases, the electricity, big crowds, sellout arenas.
Yeah, I think, I have to believe that, one of the reasons why you didn't see as many Hawkeyes at the Soldier Salute is that they may have been looking at this dual meet and trying to train a little bit and put their best forward there, best foot forward in Carver Hawkeye. We'll see if it happens.
Green, your choice. Penn State, your choice. Green takes down.
Duke will go on bottom.
Set. Red cover.
Iowa winning against Wisconsin 23-12. We'll have some of those highlights coming up at the intermission. And Duke able to
Green, neutral.
square up and escape.
Yeah, I like that position. You get to your feet and then you look back and you try to go ahead and go over the top here and try to threaten the guy with the throw. You become dangerous right there. There's the tech fall with the last takedown.
Sweet ankle pick to end it 19-4. Another bonus point victory for P.J. Duke and the Nittany Lions. 5 falls, 4 techs, and a major. Ryan Ford, the redshirt freshman from New Jersey, went to Bergen Catholic, was top 4 times. 11-2, he's 5-0 in duels. 4th at the Midlands as he works a front headlock with the head and arm early.
Yeah, he gets a little, you can tell he's got some strength out there, takes a little shot, gets right into the hips of Messenbrink. He's got him tight right there. Can he do a mat return? Yes, he does.
Ryan Ford scoring the first takedown, I believe, of this dual meet for the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, he did, and just went out there and got after it. Good job by Ford, but a little advice, you just don't try to hold that lead.
They might have had one early on. But here's Messenbrink coming right back at him. A lot of great action here, 50 seconds in. 4 unanswered for Messenbrink. And that's one thing, too, Jim, we've seen over the years with Penn State. They'll give up some points. They'll give up some takedowns. But when it's all said and done, more often than not, it's a bonus point victory.
Well, look how quickly he was able to get out from underneath. One of the things about this level of wrestling, if you can get out quick, it keeps your confidence high, right, as far as being able to go out and get after the guy. So you can make mistakes early in a match, but if you can get out really quickly, you're right back into what you like to do. And here we're in a back point situation here for Messenbrink. And he's got an opportunity basically to follow that up here maybe with a half.
4 green.
Look at the job he's doing, driving that body over the wrist, and catches him one more time. Right knee slid up underneath the hips. Got that claw ride.
And a win by Messenbrink would lock up the W for Penn State and give them 78 straight dual meet victories, which would be a new NCAA record.
You see what Messenbrink did there. He was able to go ahead. He felt that Ford wasn't trying to get back up to his base. So he slid back to that ankle. Now he's doing a power, basically cross-face cradle attempt right there. So he's flirting with trying to grab that ankle because Ford's not doing a big enough job here. Oh, that cradle's locked up tight.
Messenbrink has it locked. He's going to rock it back. Looking for his 6th fall of the season. Messenbrink with the fall and history for Penn State. By Haynes fires a shot, going to switch off to a double leg, and he plants the Scarlet Knight down to the mat for 3.
He's got that bottom leg hook for a short period of time there. It almost took him to his back. Now, mat return attempt.
Levi Haynes, 3-time Big Ten champion, 3-time All-American. Was 3rd last March. Won the national title in 2024. And you remember, Jim, in 2024, he was at 157. Last season bumps up to 174. Pretty much the same story.
Yeah.
One of the top guys in the country. Lost to Dean Hamady in that semifinal, 4-2. Then came back for 3rd, beat Patrick Kennedy with an 11-3 major decision. He was 25-2. His other loss to Keegan O'Toole, a defeat 4-1 in sudden victory. And Levi Haynes, another guy, Jim, just so much in his arsenal. And you made the comment before, watching Penn State, it's kind of a sign of techniques to come. They're a step or two ahead.
Yeah, it seems like it. You take a look at what we talked about here with Van Ness, and then, Messenbrink, what he's able to do. The other guys, the young, talented guys, what they're doing and how they're going about it. It's just, this match is really, it's dominated by Penn State, and not that Rutgers hasn't gone out there in instances and fought in positions, but you just really get a feel for it. They're fun matches to do because they score so much. And they scored in varied ways that you can go ahead and watch that, hey, maybe the crowd might be doing it this way in a few years.
You rarely say when doing Penn State broadcasts, you rarely say 0-0 first period. You rarely say 1-1 with 45 to go in the 3rd. They score points. This is what wrestling fans appreciate. And as you mentioned before, especially a guy like you with your eye for technique, you just really appreciate what they bring to the mat.
Yeah, and you just see an evolution going on. It's just really fun to see what these coaches are teaching their athletes, what Kale and his coaching staff are doing, and the way they anticipate situations, and taking the strengths of the wrestler. I think that's really important right now. You see Haynes possibly giving up an escape, yeah, but it was an aggressive escape. He would wrestle that way with the second best guy in the country. Would be offensive. He wouldn't be holding back.
And Levi Haynes in 2025, U23 world champ, captured that title in Serbia in October. And then in September, senior world silver. The freestyle accolades on this roster are another level of spectacular, as another attempt there by Haynes. Second season up at 174.
Good job of down blocking there. I think Chapman took the worst of that. Had a little problem with his right shoulder earlier. I think he caught that one in the forehead.
Red. Let me know if you want concussion, okay?
So injury time, but you heard the official ask if they want to go into concussion protocol. Of course, concussion protocol, there is no time limit. Of course, safety of the athletes first and foremost. They will take him back and make sure he's okay. And again, no time limit in concussion protocol.
straight on shot here by Chapman. All right, boom, came down, but it's how he didn't really hit him in the forehead or anything like that.
Maybe the knee, maybe that left knee, maybe of Levi Haynes.
Kind of came down with his head over the top of the head. See right here, boom, over the top of the head right there. Yeah. Yeah, but he reaching for his forehead. Maybe something got snapped there a little bit, but you know, these are always the fun. You know, you don't want to see anybody get a concussion or anything like that. But the conversations you have with guys, you know, in breaks like this are pretty cool. You know, and you can see Haynes' demeanor is really matter of fact.
2023 Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Made the NCAA final in 2023. Lost to Austin O'Connor of North Carolina. Mentioned that win against Teamer. He beat the Sun Devil, who became an Iowa Hawkeye 5-0 in that 2024 final at 157.
Look at the guys in the background. They're yucking it about something.
Keeping it loose. Good sign here as Jordan Chapman jogs back. Great to see that. Quick handshake. 6-2 match, 20 seconds first period.
2-on.
Lurie's picked up.
Yeah, 2-on-1 attempt there by Chapman. Able to not quite pass it. Get to the leg.
See some young talent here today for the Scarlet Knights.
Green, your choice. Penn State. Your choice. Green takes down.
Couple of takedowns for Haynes in the first period. And the Nittany line will go on bottom. 28-0 Nittany Lions. History on this Saturday for Penn State wrestling. 78 consecutive dual meet victories.
One green, neutral.
Yeah, quad pod stand up right there. He's on his hands and feet, basically anticipating, you know, kind of baiting Chapman into that cradle, and then it's covered the fingers there, was able to walk out of it.
Jim, Penn State, since the start of the 2015-2016 season in dual meets, 142-2. Big Ten schedule, 142-2.
You got guys like this, Levi Haynes.
Nothing.
One thing that always impressed me about him is that how tight he gets his chest to the leg, you know, when he attacks. And you call stalemate right there, so he's up to a 10-2 lead. But, you know, he's just an excellent finisher, particularly when in that crackdown position where he gets his guy onto his rear.
Set. Green cover. One.
You know, in covering these guys, the Penn State athletes, you know, what they come in with isn't what they leave with, right? So you follow their progression, you know, oh, yeah, well, this guy came in, he had this technique, and all of a sudden, then later on, like in his career, he's doing this, and this, and 2 or 3 other things. Oh, yeah, and he invented this, okay? So that's just the way it goes here.
Riding time at 1:21, 40 seconds showing in this second period. Double digits on the scoreboard once again. Look at that hustle there as he gets that right arm across and finishes for 3 more. Just relentless like a dog on the bone, Jim.
Again, sealing his chest. Now he's got that bottom leg Turk set up right there. He's got
bow and arrow time.
Yeah. Now watch the way he'll finish right there. Here, he gets the fall.
Levi Haynes, bow and arrow to a fall and 6 more for the Nittany Lions. Now 11-0, his 4th. Had a great season, was 26-5, 3rd at the Big Tens. And a national runner-up is a 6th seed, fell to Carter Strachey 2-0. And he won 4 straight 4-1 matches in sudden victory to make that final. And wasting no time, 15 seconds in, Jim, hunting down a single.
Yeah, and Carnegie Walsh basically not able to go ahead and come close to even countering that here. Great job of getting to his feet. Rocco Welsh, once again. Yeah, you mentioned that. 3 straight 4-1 overtime
He's a grinder.
win. That's being gritty.
Yes, it is.
And he's you know, watched him develop as a freshman. Had a lot of great matches for the Bucks there, and obviously becoming a runner-up, and then transferring here, sitting out here. So he's had a year working with a lot of guys in this room that are pretty darn good.
Cartagena Walsh, a redshirt sophomore from Ocean Township, New Jersey, state placer at Ocean High School. Solid.
Wow.
Won over 20 matches last season. Walsh once again double leg in the finish to make it 6-1.
Yeah, that was a great job of not only getting to the leg here, but getting back up to his feet, and then he popped his hips in really well. The range that Cartagena Walsh has, sometimes it's tough to lift those, longer, taller guys here. You can't quite get your hips in the right place to lift. But Walsh did a really good job of stepping in and popping his hips in at the right time.
Cartagena Walsh, 8th at the Big Tens. Last March, he went to the national tournament as a 16 seed, went 2-2 in Philly. 14-2 this season, won a Midlands title. Had that wild match that we saw here on the Big Ten Network with his former teammates, Brian Soldano, now at Oklahoma. That was a 9-6 win for the Sooner. That was a lot of fun to call that match. It was a wild match.
It was a wild match, and it kind of decided it for the Sooners here. But I was impressed with Cartagena Walsh there. He really had I thought he was doing a great job, and then found himself kind of in a tough situation. Almost scored, right? Kind of a controversial end of that match, and then the Sooner got the takedown late.
45 seconds left. And Walsh in position now for his third takedown, and the Nittany Lion secures 3 more, and that takedown takes riding time over 60 seconds.
And that was just one where Rocco was able to go ahead and just out-hustle a little bit right there, get to a corner, drop back in on a leg, finished on the inside of the leg, kind of clubbed ahead. Pretty easy finish. A short time like this, don't expect Welsh to give anything easy.
3, 4.
Cartagena Walsh at the Keystone Classic was 3rd. That was his other loss in the season to Jared McGill of Edinburgh. He's 6-1 for the Scarlet Knights in duels. But up against Rocco Welsh, ranked 4th in the nation. 184 in the Big Ten is insane. Angelo Ferrari, ranked number 1. Can't wait till next Friday. Ferrari and Welsh. You have Aiden Sinclair of Missouri, ranked 2nd. Max McAnally of Minnesota, ranked 3rd. Jackson Smith of Maryland, ranked 5th. I mean, thoroughbreds at 184, Jim. Thoroughbreds. 9-2 first period for Welsh with riding time at 1:40.
Now, Shane, go back over and tell what age that these guys are, all right?
Ferrari, redshirt freshman. McAnally, redshirt sophomore. Rocco Welsh, redshirt sophomore. Jackson Smith's the veteran. Jackson Smith, an All-American. The first since Yusuf Hamida. An All-American last March. First for Alex Clemson, I believe. Maryland and Wisconsin. Right here on Big Ten Network tomorrow afternoon. Badgers having a really solid season. 8-1 this season. They fell at Iowa last night, 23-13.
But they won some matches that was a big match with Fugit and Ayala.
Yeah, Fugit and Ayala. Yep, at 133. Believe that was a rematch of the national semis last March. Fugit getting it done. Late escape. Believe there was a stall call in that mix as well. And Maryland, they come in 4-2. They fell at Northwestern last night, 27-12. 105 remaining in the second period. Rocco Welsh, one of those hammers here at 184 with a 10-2 lead. Last season took a red shirt. He was 15-0. Won the Clarion, Cleveland State, and Franklin and Marshall Opens.
Yeah, you just see the constant pressure that Welsh really has. Inside collar ties. They go finger tie right there, get their finger clasping going on right there, kind of slows both guys up. But he's able to go ahead and get to that leg, that right lead leg of Cartagena Walsh a couple times. There it is, back on it again. Now he split his grip. He's going to switch off to a double. Tries to stay in bounds. It's pretty close, but
out of
takedown.
Yeah. Back to the center neutral, short time, 21 ticks. Rocco Welsh, Jim, you can't see the socks. You know what that reminds me of? Iron Mike Tyson back in the day. Remember that? No socks?
Yeah.
Rocco Welsh, like Iron Mike, pretty bad dude. If I'm in a back alley, give me Rocco Welsh. I'd feel a whole heck of a lot better.
What are you doing in a back alley, Shane? Yeah.
Friday, see more wrestling live on Big Ten Plus when the Scarlet Knights are back on the mat for a showdown with Michigan. Download the Big Ten app Plus today. It's always game on. There's Scott Goodale. Took over in July of 2007. The winningest coach in program history. Of course, they had a big tournament in Pittsburgh back in 2019 with the national champions Nick Soriano and Anthony Ashnell, two super successful New Jersey high school wrestlers. And this last week, an exciting time for Rutgers' Anthony Knox, announcing that he will wrestle for the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, that's a
four-time state champ from St. John Vianney, I believe.
Yeah, that's a big win for those Scarlet Knights here. You know, you got to have the talent. They can go ahead and continue to capture a lot of those in-state guys that want to go there. You know, what a great environment there that, you know, Jersey Mike's Arena is.
One of our favorite places.
Really, it is. It's just a great place. The fan base is knowledgeable, you know, so it's a, you know, it's a great, you know, I'm so fortunate to be able to wrestle in my home state. You know, that's a big deal to be able to go ahead, the ability to go ahead and do that. I'm sure that was part of why Rocco Welsh came back to Penn State, that being a Pennsylvania guy just makes a difference.
Straight on shot, no angle, right into those big-time hips of Rocco Welsh.
Got his grip split there. We'll see how he tries to lift this.
Parkkins Walsh has been hit with stalling a couple of times, and now he gets hit again. So that's the second point for Welsh with that high pace. Taking territory. Now 12-3. The riding time is locked up. So bonus point territory here for the Nittany Lion, looking for his 7th bonus point victory of the season. Nice deep shot there from Parkkins Walsh.
Yeah, I was waiting for that because, you know, you got Welsh basically marching you off to the edge of the map right now.
He's on the shoot tops.
Yeah.
Probably going to get a stalemate. That's exactly what happens. Again, next Friday, Friday Night Wrestling, Penn State and Iowa, 184. Ferrari of Iowa ranked number 1, Welsh ranked 4th. Going to be some great individual matchups inside Carver Hawkeye Arena.
10 seconds. Roll it.
Convincing victory for Rocco Welsh with the riding time, 13-3. The Nittany Lion wins it by 10. Little Rock. Josh Barr made the national final last March, lost to Stephen Buchanan of Iowa, and it was in this dual meet last year, Jim, when Barr really burst onto the scene. Had that win against John Poznansky when he obliterated the scoreboard in the third period, got a tech fall.
Yeah, that was
hung up 22 points on the scoreboard. The scoreboard has still not recovered. It's been almost a year.
Exhausted.
I mean, that was a barrage.
Yeah, it was, and it happened all in
really
about the last
seen.
2 minutes, right?
It was insane.
Yeah.
And Poznansky was really good. I mean, a solid career, an All-American, darn good wrestler in his own right. But Barr, you remember, he was 6th at the Big Tens, lost in the semis to Jacob Cardenas, then he was injured. So he went to the national tournament as a 4 seed, made the final.
This is where he's good right here. Just even laces flat and all that stuff. He just finds a way to go ahead, put himself in a good position, crack down. He'll scoop the bottom leg here, try to clear his head. Right. Notice how he's trying to keep him on his rear, but also create a little bit more room so he can bring that arm across. Now he's going to in a crackdown position.
Tight chest wrap there from Remy Cotton.
Got enough room to go ahead and execute the technique in the shelf on the other leg now. See, it's up on his left hip, right? As they roll over, Cotton's got to be careful here to keep get that bottom leg down. That leg stays elevated. It's going to be easy to turn. See how he's shelving it with that right thigh, right? Right now, I like to turn the face right here. Comes through.
And here we go. It's going to be some near fall points. Maybe a fall for Josh Barr. He's going to settle in.
if you focus on elevating the bottom leg like Josh Barr is doing right now, I've seen a lot of great wrestlers get pinned when they give up that elevation on the bottom leg. Now he's doing it to the other side.
Sinks in an arm bar. His record was 22-4 last season. He beat Poznanski 22-6. May have misspoken earlier.
There you go. Yep.
Josh Barr from Davison, Michigan, 4-time state champion, part of 3 team titles, a Fargo national champ, has that power half. 30 seconds to go. They have yet to award the near fall. And now the 4 near fall put on the board, 7-0 for Josh Barr, a takedown for 3, a turn for 4.
Yeah, that was interesting that the points weren't given up till that leg basically almost came back to a parallel ride. There was no pinning combination in effect right there, so interesting.
He'll finish the period on top with a minute and a half of riding time. Remy Cotton, a redshirt sophomore, spent his first 2 seasons at Michigan State, was a national qualifier for the Spartans a season ago. Midland's finalist fell to Seth Shumate of Ohio State. 7-2 on the season, having a solid start with 4 bonus point victories. From Traverse City, Michigan, Davison High School. So these 2 guys from the same high school. My guess is that they were teammates.
We're out.
I wonder if they wrestled over the Christmas break. You know, a lot of times you have open
Maybe.
gyms and things
Go
like
back
open
home.
mat, go back and the alumni shows up and old guys start rolling around and guys are off to college. And
Barr last season had that big win against Jacob Cardenas of Michigan. Cardenas got him at the Big Tens.
Set. Red.
And then he beat Cardenas in the semis 5-3. Cardenas was the #1 seed. And Stephen Buchanan of Iowa won the national title. That's one of my favorite streaks, Jim, with Caliendo and Buchanan last season. That streak of finalists for the Hawkeyes goes back to, I believe, 1990.
yeah,
And in 1990, they had 3 finalists, 2 national champs, Tom and Terry Brands. I think Brooks Simpson might have been that 3rd finalist.
yeah, it was 1989 in Oklahoma City when they didn't have it.
Yes.
As Tom and Terry were freshmen that year.
Streak began in 1990. That is a heck of a streak.
One red, neutral.
You know, and some of the guys that kept that streak going,
The guy that I remember, Jacob Warner, there was a year there. That was in 2022. Jacob Warner, it came down to him. And I think he beat Stephen Buchanan to extend that streak.
and he beat him from the top position. He turned him, I think, in the 3rd period. So the other one that stands out to me was when Fulsis from Decorah.
Okay,
ended up
Ryan Fulsis.
Yeah, got to the finals.
Against Damian Hahn, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, but he made it. But it's just like that.
That's a great streak. It's been close a couple of times.
Yeah.
Final 15 seconds. Josh Barr with riding time over a minute. You think about some of the big-time matches here inside Rec Hall. One that comes to mind for me, of course, was when Zane Rutherford beat Logan Stieber. There's another one that I'm going to talk about in just a second that really stands out to me when I look at my time at some of these arenas with the Big Ten Network. Barr will take an 11-1 win to the 3rd.
All of a sudden, the 3rd period is inexplicably just got.
He got a couple takedowns in the 3rd for sudden victory. Another takedown, 10-8.
Yeah, that wasn't beating an average guy here, too.
And he was a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, he's beating an NCAA finalist, I think, that year.
Jordan Conaway from New Oxford, Pennsylvania, won a state title as a senior for his dad, Dave, who passed away in 2021. Jordan told me his dad was just so instrumental in his career as a wrestler. Jordan Conway married his wife Haley in October of 2019. They got their dog Momo. That's what he's up to these days. He's a coach and a training partner at the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. I didn't know this. Out of high school, he was going to go to Liberty University. I read this. But Liberty decided to make wrestling a club sport, and that's when Coach Cale came a-calling. And the rest is history, as they say. But Conway, one of those guys, Jim, just a grinder. High effort, big heart. I mean, that guy just left everything he had on the mat. And I'll always remember that match with Tyler Graff. And he had a great career. Two-time All-American. He was 8th in 2015 at 125. Then he bumped up to 133, was 6th in 2016. And he told me he always loved those matches inside Bryce Jordan Center. Packed house. Jordan Conway. We do remember that guy.
Danger ring! Danger one!
You hear the danger. And the takedown is awarded. The riding time is secured, so if Barr finishes his match on top, and he appears to be in great position to do so, he will get his 5th tech fall of the season and improve to 8-0.
There you go. Keep hopping on your right.
Yep.
It is one stallion after another when you look at this Penn State team.
Yeah, it's just Coach Goodale. He wants you guys to come in here and compete. And it's just hard to get a measuring stick on how well your team competed when you're basically getting, looking at a team with this level of talent and technique.
Duels, 5 bonus point victories. His 2 losses this season to Nathan Taylor of Lehigh and Christian Carroll of Wyoming. A 10-4 loss to the now Cowboy at Wyoming, Christian Carroll.
Yeah.
Of course, taking over for Greg Kirkley, national champ. What a career he had in that Nittany Lions singlet.
And Mirola just, he's 226 pounds out there today. Moving up. You expect a guy that's not going to be afraid to go ahead and shoot. There you see a little half shot there, reacted to pretty well by Katka.
Katka, the Midlands champion, 11-4. 9 bonus point victories, including 7 techs. He had that tough loss here on the Big Ten Network against Oklahoma. Came down to the final match with the Scarlet Knights and the Sooners. And Juan Mora was victorious for Oklahoma. Beat Katka 5-2 in sudden victory.
Yeah, it was a wild match. It looked like Katka.
It was a fun duel.
Yeah, it really was.
Katka was 4th at the Keystone Classic earlier this season. No score as we approach the midway point here in this opening period. Penn State looking for the shutouts.
Warning red!
Yeah,
Russell in the center.
well done there by Mirola on the edge there. See, they got him to the edge, and then they just didn't push him off, right? A little shot fake right there. Katka did not come back to the center, right? Then get a little shot fake, get him moving, all right? And then come back and just to shoot him off the mat in that situation, got the stall warning.
Nittany Lions looking for their 4th shutout this season. They blanked Oklahoma 45-0, 46-0 over North Dakota State. Defeated Stanford 42-0. So dominant as Katka drops in on a leg below the knee.
Yeah, that's
inside of a minute.
Good position
to score.
Yeah, good position to score. If you go ahead and get a little deeper with one of the arms and then come up with the other. A little deeper with that left arm and post up on your hand. Maybe come up. Got to make a move. Comes inside, comes out the back door here with it as Mirola tried to get the far ankle. And now Mirola might have the advantage right now. I think he does. You got to be careful here in this position here. You got an athlete that has his shoulder to your knee like that. You don't want to get in the wrong position. Now he's pulling it out right there.
Down to 25 seconds. He's got Katka on his belly.
Stalemate.
We'll reset with 16 seconds.
Good job by Katka getting that position. Not enough time to be able to finish it. He had about a 10-second advantage right there to finish it. Wasn't able to get a finishing technique, and Mirola is able to get him into a stalemate.
Penn State 78 straight dual meet victories. Earlier today, Nebraska men's basketball beat Indiana 96 and 97. Some great notable win streaks in the Big Ten. And you made the comment earlier, Jim, with Penn State winning 78 straight, they might be in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's just, it doesn't feel like the end, that's for sure, Shane, when you take a look at this lineup and all.
They're so young.
Yeah, it has no feeling like this is going to come to an end anytime soon, but who knows? We say that. There are some teams that match up pretty well a little bit later. You know, they got to come over to Carver Hawkeye Arena next week, you know, so they'll have to go ahead and put it on the line.
It's a Big Ten schedule.
Yeah.
The four-time reigning team champions, and Mirola skips away, keeps that 1-0 lead. Penn State will look for its 13th team title under head coach Cale Sanderson. They've won the 12. They are all four-peats.
And I know they don't even think about this at you know, inside that Penn State program here about this streak. They try to keep it on the down low.
Just keep getting better at wrestling.
Yeah.
Just keep getting better results. Will take care of themselves.
Cat getting out another shot here, was able to go ahead and knock Mirola back. Now Mirola jumping to that far ankle.
What can Katka do here?
All right, he's got to basically try to maybe roll back over that leg that's captured here. Right, that's the problem. He's left that left ankle back behind him there, and going to end up with a stalemate. Got to try to finish a little quicker here. If you can get to the leg right there, maybe catch him as he's trying to come across here, maybe get to a double leg. You know, ankle pick to a double.
Rutgers next week, at Michigan on Friday, at Purdue on Sunday. Check out that action on Big Ten Plus. Of course, for Penn State, it's inside Carver Hawkeye next Friday, and then on Sunday at Northwestern as Mirola caught underneath. Katka feeding him big dose of hips, and that is how we will end the second period.
Mirola, Katka only has 15 seconds of riding time. The thing is, for the smaller 226-pound man going against somebody who's closer to 250, you know, Coach Goodale, you want a good, quick escape here to put you in it. You won't waste too much time in the bottom position.
Thigh pry left side for the Nittany Lion.
Yeah, good job.
Chops an arm.
Yeah, good job of really coming over the top here. This guy's pulling all of his, trying to control the hips there, break the hips down. Good job of following. Does that about two. He's got to come back and maybe scoop the leg up. Nice front trip right there. Follow it up.
Snags that ankle, and now Katka able to kick away, and this match is tied up at 1.
Yeah, you know, so much in riding, you do it with your feet. And right there, Mirola got caught with his shoelaces flat. I don't know how much he really wanted to ride in that situation, so it could have been more of an intentional release. But in this situation here, now you've got Katka trying to come out the back door, and look at the leverage that he's using with the left knee into the face right there. That gives him a better position to be able to score. Can he come back in here with maybe a half Nelson underneath that elbow? But he just goes around behind and collects the points.
Mirola with the takedown, a 4-1 lead.
Mirola definitely showing some skill on those counters.
Penn State looking to finish this record-breaking day in style. They have been dominant today. Jim, this would be their third straight shutout. Third straight. They got 3 on the season. Oklahoma to end the season. And right before Christmas, I believe it was, North Dakota State and Stanford.
Nice little roll through it there by Katka, and he's got an opportunity to go ahead. Riding time's not a factor here. He could get a takedown and win.
Down to half a minute remaining. Shot there from Katka as Mirola drifts to the edge and now wisely circles back in. Those are really good places to be. Good mat awareness there from Mirola.
Yeah, and in that situation, if you wanted to even burn more clock, if you got him on the edge, you could come back to the center of the mat. Mirola's come straight back to the outside, outer third of the mat.
4-2 decision, 46-0 final, and 78 straight dual meet victories. for the Penn State Nittany Lions, a new NCAA record. Third straight shutout for the Nittany Lions as they will set their sights on Iowa City for a meeting with Iowa next Friday night right here as part of Friday